Hi Scorpio, this is Terriblekid doing a reading for you, month of May, the 5th month of the year, 2024. Let's see what's gonna happen, what advice we can give you to deal with the changes that are coming up next month. As most of you will know, there is Jupiter moving signs after 1 year. Having been in your opposite sign of Taurus, and now it's going into Gemini, meaning that you've been busy with focusing on others and finding probably very inspiring, good, powerful people that might have helped you further. Now let's see what's going to come up for you first in your current situation for the month of May 2024. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, here we go. First time we're doing this as a Terriblekid in a recording, as a very generalized reading, of course. It's not so that 1 out of 12 people who are Scorpio all experience the same. It's really about trends, influences, energies. And since there is a big planet changing, most likely there will be, well, he wants to come out. Okay, that's the King of Wands coming out. It's the current situation upside down. Maybe there are there's some venture that you are interested in, or a passion that you're interested in, but it's not fully working out yet. Either you're not sure if that's what you should do, or you think you still don't have everything you need to continue with it. Okay, and the challenge is the Pentacles page, the PP, Page of Pentacles, Pentacle page. So that's like fire and earth already. So if your challenge is that there is some new energy, maybe some beginning that's not full grown, or you're not sure if you can lift it up the ground because you think it's not prepared well enough. You know, you have this idea, you want to do it. You want to take on this big enterprise or big change, and you are looking for support of others, but for some reason you feel a little bit like, okay, do I have the money for it? What will it bring me? And that's why you don't feel powerful enough. It feels like it's too small yet, and you were thinking big, and maybe others helped you to believe in that you could think big, and now you start doubting it maybe a bit because you're not sure if it will make enough money, bring you enough assets, etc., that is worthwhile, and that's what maybe makes you insecure. That's what I'm feeling here. No idea. Okay. So it seems like what you have to focus on is because this is so much about earth and about sharing things with others, and about maybe what others want to share with you. And maybe the last year others shared quite a lot with you, and you had a lot of relations that made you feel powerful, strong, wanted, and they shared with you, etc. And now maybe you have to start sharing with them, and you don't know if you have enough for yourself to share with others. So you have to see what you actually want to do, and if you have been thinking enough about if you receive, you will have to give as well. That's what people expect from you, and maybe that's what makes you feel uncomfortable. Oof, that's too much. Oh, that's not, yeah, now he comes out anyway. So it's another page of cups. So I've seen the Page of Cups with quite a lot of signs. It came up in the May reading, which is interesting. But this is your recent past, or the maybe past year or something like that, or where you are coming from. So you felt emotionally pretty much protected, supported. It was comfortable. It was an environment you understood. That you got used to, maybe not in the beginning, maybe it was a bit smaller than you were thinking before, or used to before, I should say. But it felt comfortable, and you know that there's much more going on, and that there's a whole sea there, but you felt comfortable in this cup. And now you see, like, okay, so now, I got a lot of inspiration, attention, help from others, maybe even money or support in that way, in a material way. And now you have to do it yourself. In fact, you see that you made these plans by yourself, but maybe also with others. And often when we make plans, we think that everybody's on the same page. But now you start doubting a little bit. And with Jupiter moving then out of your house of others, out of Taurus into Gemini, you have this double feeling like, okay, so now I have to move. So you have to jump out of this cup and go into the sea, where you have to perform more like the King of Wands. And you are like, oh, but what will happen? I know I don't have so much now, and I think that what I'm going to do is going to bring me much more, and it's going to bring me abundance. But maybe I'm fine already with what I have, so I don't need more. And you're making maybe reasons for yourself why you can stay in this cup and don't need to jump into the sea. But the cup is done. It's a chapter in your book, and that's over. Now you have to continue either next chapter or jump from the cup into the sea and find that there are so many possibilities there. And sometimes you will be more alone, of course, and you have to share. See, now you have the king, sorry, the King of Wands and the Queen of Swords. That's normally your strength. Of course, the Swords is air, and Scorpio is, of course, water. But what is airy about Scorpio is that they have this laser sharp eye, laser sharp judgment. Mostly for good, sometimes for bad, because you can strategize, make plans, and do things that other people will never think about. But mostly you do it for good, also to protect yourself. Look at this. For me, this feels very Scorpio-ish, like Queen of Swords. Holding your sword up and say, like, okay, this is protecting me. I have here one hand, to greet people. But on the other hand, I always have the sword, so don't F with me. That's normally your strength. But also that feels a bit out of comfort, being upside down. So it feels like you are doubting your own judgments or your own laser eye judgment. Can I say it like that? And that's why you're feeling insecure, also to share your passion and your power for this new step that's coming up. So anyway, I don't understand why you would be doubting yourself. You had so much support, and people support you also because they know that in the end you will fly, or in your case, you will swim into the sea, and they love that. They will probably support you. And maybe some want something back from that. And maybe you don't want to disappoint them, but also you don't want to disappoint yourself. So what's your near future? So that's near. It's around the 25th. I think that Jupiter is changing signs. Don't pin me on the day, but so it's the last part of May. I will stay there for a year, yeah, in Gemini. Okay. So you also have to get used to getting less and less help from people, but the people you have shown yourself to. Okay. So your near future is, in fact, is again this Three of Wands. There is an enterprise, a new vision. You have to do this. It's pretty cool. You know that this is where you're gonna go, but also there, because you're doubting, the whole enterprise feels like it's shaky. But let me tell you, this is what I'm feeling here, and what you're telling me. The enterprise is not shaky. It's your self-doubt that is making things shaky. And it's like people helped you, to learn how to cycle. And now they are not only not helping you anymore, but they're also removing the side wheels. And then you think like, oh my God, like how can I ever cycle? But you already can cycle. You just have to get used to the idea that now you're going to do it all by yourself, and these people still support you. Nobody wants to see you fall. Well, normally that's the case, So normally in life, people really do not want to see the others fall, especially not if they helped you, because that will mean also that their help was in vain, and that you didn't learn, and they feel also disappointed. Normally, normal, healthy people, healthy-minded people, they will want you to succeed. And if they helped you, they also want to see that happening. So let's go now further. What advice there is, like maybe advice for how can we remove this insecurity and make sure that you feel stable by yourself and you really don't need others, which is already a bit weird, but yeah, no, after having had a year with a lot of support, normally what? Okay. For the Queen and the King. Maybe you do have a partner. A partner that's not just like everybody, but a really intimate partner. And that partner thinks like you, acts like you, shares your ideas, shares your visions. But maybe this partner has made you feel less strong with your natural talents. Your advice is maybe that if you convince your partner that therefore you will get more support from that partner, and your self-doubt also disappears. So maybe your lesson is like, make your partner feel comfortable. And partner can be, of course, love partner or something, but it can also be your best friend or your family or something. But somebody who's a bit like you, most likely from the other sex. Because your environment is changing, clearly. There is death, which is Scorpio. So your environment is changing rapidly, which makes sense after this year. So expect that, that's what I was trying to say, like if you feel comfortable and you don't want to jump in the sea now you've learned so many things from others especially, and with others, you start doubting yourself, and your partner can be contributing to that. So it's like, wow, so you should think like, why is my partner doubting me now? So it's probably because you are radiating that you have some doubt somewhere, and your partner's not used to that, because your strength is normally like, okay, sword is held up high, so don't F with me. And now she sees like, oh, and you have to reassure her, and there's no way you're going to stay in this cup where people are all supporting you, helping you, trying to protect you, because you have to jump in the sea, because the cup, it's over, it's dead, it's done. There's big change in your environment, so you better change environment, because your environment is changing. It's powerful this year. So let me take this. It wants to fall out. Hopes and fears. Yeah. So your fear is that you think like, oh yeah, but then if I stand for my ambitions and the goal I have, you know, and that maybe the plan I made last year, and then maybe all of a sudden they start attacking me. It feels like you think you're not good enough alone, and maybe you got hurt before. That's also why you got support from other people. You've been hurt and felt like a wounded warrior. And people have been supporting you because they thought, you know, that's not fair. What happened to him or her, and to do this Scorpio, and then let's support him, you know. But now you start doubting, like, hey man, are they pushing me out of this cup, out of this environment because they don't like me anymore, etc. And then I end up, you know, in the same position, and everybody's attacking me maybe, and I have to start defending myself. So that's your fear, and I think there's no need for that because it's not upright. So it's in this reading, let's say, it's more like actually a fear that has nothing to do with reality because your environment is changing. So, and that's not because the environment decided to change for you, but it's just happening, and it's going fast now, and it's to do with this Jupiter switch. Potential outcome. You know, if you find your true Scorpio back, and you are in fact again this person who can do things, who can move the world by himself, by herself, all alone, by themselves, whatever you want to call it, you know, it's all fine. I want to see the outcome. And I'll also give you a card from the angels. Oh yeah. Yeah, so see, they're even offering a new cup. You don't even want to see it because you are staring at your old cups. So your old environments, you are watching your old environments, and you're not accepting the new environment that is being offered by the universe to you, by the spirits. You're too scared. Your self-confidence is not there. Yeah, but in the end, you see, like, you need your self-confidence come back because it's a victory card here, where you are not alone, but even celebrating with others, as you can see. It is upside down now, but it has to do with you not being convinced that you can make it, feeling too comfortable. Maybe that's a bit of the conservative side of Scorpio, like, you know, it wasn't so bad last year, and you know, why can't it be like that? But it's changing. This death is resolute. There's nothing you can do about it. But you have victory coming because these people have been in your life to prepare you for victory, for beautiful things, for a safe home, happy home, a good partner, etc. But you have these worries, you know, you are thinking about it, and you are too much in your head. Also, your partner is probably a lot in your head. It's not needed, you know, because see again here, you are worrying, you know, worrying if you can do it, you can do it. Again, another affirmation. 6 of Wands is also like a victory, you know, where people are not fighting you, as you see here, but they are using their power and their passion and their energy to support you and to welcome you. You know, you're even on a white horse, so you know, your partner also has to understand that you are the one on the white horse. Yeah, it's beautiful if you stop worrying, you know, and really focus on. I'll show it like this. Really focus on you, on what you've learned, and you trust that, and you do it by yourself. So let's see now. Message from the angels. What's happening? Why is Scorpio doubting him or herself? You know, it's not needed. No way it's needed. You are very good, and people supported you. But you know, now you have to change. Change, and we say change, and there is change. Change and transition. Archangel Azrael. Azrael. We know to me it was also in cartoons. So look at this powerful, like this is like a phoenix almost. You see this on this an eagle phoenix-ish type, which is also very, very Scorpio. And change is what's happening now. This is all about change, you know. It's a big change of environment. a big change of people around you, and it's a transition. And if Scorpio means something, because Scorpio is death, it also shows that this is your nature, change and transition. Nobody can change and transition like you. Rise from the ashes. No, when they burn you down, you will rise again. Scorpio is also Phoenix, you know. So let me read what is with Azrael, this god that came out. So maybe that makes sense to you then. You're going through some changes right now, and you may not be enjoying them. Well, that's it. I see a lot of resistance. But please be assured that they are for your highest good. Change is a natural process, and we are constantly moving through different levels of development and experience so we can grow. Allow yourself to relax, knowing that the angels are supporting you through these changes. See, you get help, not only from your friends, but from the angels. And you are change. Death is natural. It's normal. Change can be a challenging process, especially if you fight it. See? It's so challenging. This is what we're showing you. Like all these beautiful cards are coming out, you know, as your future and your outcome. But you are fighting it. So it's challenging, the process, especially if you fight it. Know that you are supported at this time and that the changes really are bringing blessings into your life. You may be faced with the feelings of fear and not knowing what the next stage is, but there are plenty of doors opening and opportunities being presented to you. Allow yourself to let go and welcome the new and exciting energy life is bringing to you. Azrael's name means he who helps God. He is the angel who guides us through the process of transition. With his phoenix-like energy, I told you that, he helps us to rise from the ashes of our challenges to be reborn and positive again. That's what you need. You're being reborn and you have to stay positive. Don't be negative, because then if you stay negative, the change will be very painful and it's not needed, because all the future cards, near future cards, look very powerful and happy. The best cards you have there. He has a close link with mediums and is the angel who lovingly guides us to the other side at the time of our passing. He is strong but loving and supportive. Call on him to guide you through change in a peaceful and loving way. Yeah, so you have help, and you know, that's all good. You even have help from the spirits, you know. And the people are also still helping, because nobody was making a fight with you here. You just gotten too comfortable and you think like, this is not so bad, maybe it's not that. Stop worrying, you know, embrace the change, go with the flow, because you have all these powerful court cards, you know, and even the change of environment, that's supernatural to you, because it is Scorpio and you have Azrael, who is the phoenix and the god of, or the angel of transition. It's perfect. I hope this helps you, Scorpio. Let me know any comments, anything you think is awkward in our reading, or anything you like to hear more about, etc. Of course, it's very general, this reading, but we're just trying to see what we can bring, and we want to let people open up to intuition, to spirits, and to storytelling and movement of planets. That's all what we're trying to do. If you want something private, let me know. You can always comment, you can like, you can share. It's all fine. Do whatever you please. Yeah? And be that phoenix. Ciao. Ciao, Scorpio.